My name is Jenna Dykema, and I'll be talking to you about the birth of film, which definitely created a start to the cinema business and industry and everything that it is today. The years I'm going to be talking about are revolving around between 1890 and 1900. By 1900, film had definitely proven itself to be an upcoming business and an upcoming industry, in the sense that there were many people that were able to put onto not only paper but onto film of what they could envision in their minds. And it was definitely an upcoming topic of, hey, I have this vision, I have this idea, I have this dream. What can I do to make it look real and make it for an audience and possibly make money out of it? Most films ran at a speed of 16 to 24 frames per second, which equated to 90 feet of 35mm film per minute, and in the end they usually ran on average from about 15 to 90 seconds long, depending on the director's choice. Many different improvements and important pieces, such as the shutter and the flicker and the intermittent movement, were created and not only able to build the films into the worldwide phenomenon that they are today, but they also were able to make it much easier on our brains as humans to block out any blank space between shots and between cuts that were there, in order to make the film a lot more continuous. And when viewing, audiences were able to purely enjoy the film due to the fact that their minds wouldn't have to work so hard and wouldn't be able to see so much of the blank space that is consisted of in every film. Two men, Thomas Edison and William Dickens, invented the kinetoscope, which was first introduced to mass audiences in 1891. On the right here, I have a picture included of the kinetoscope, and we can see just exactly what it looked like back then. How it worked was that a perforated celluloid film strip with a sequence of images on it was rapidly spooled between a light bulb and a lens, which further created the illusion of motion. Viewers had the opportunity to see these short films on these machines after they were placed in hotel lobbies, amusement parks, and penny parlors, and they only had to pay a small price of 25 cents to view these short films. Many audiences were then able to view captured events such as circus performances, dancing women, cockfights, boxing matches, and even a tooth extraction done by a dentist. And this was a very big beginning to pleasing the audience, and how directors and creators and these people with such good imaginations were able to provide another source of entertainment to the United States, which was undeniably growing and demanding more of an escape. In 1895, though, we have two other creators onto the scene who are brothers, Auguste and Louis Lumiere, who patented their own invention, the cinematograph. The Lumiere brothers, later in December of that same year, in the basement lounge of a cafe in Paris, were the first people to ever hold a commercial film screening, which consisted of a sequence of about 10 different short scenes, one which included the brothers' short film, Workers Leaving the Lumiere Factory, which was less than a minute long. And although it was the first screening, these screenings grew to be in such high demand that representatives of the Lumiere Company actually ended up having to travel across Europe and the world to continue these screenings for people, because it was in such high demand from the paying customers that they figured, why not? We're getting money out of it. They seem to enjoy it, and this definitely proves us as a base and able to make a name for ourselves. Throughout the United States in the 1890s, it was very easy to see that many people were simply done with the lack of labor rights, the lack of racial equality, the lack of everything. Many people were frustrated with their own problems and their own definition of freedom that they were not getting from the government. With major events in labor unions such as the Knights of Labor, which was led by Uriah Stevens, the American Federation of Labor, which was led by Samuel Gompers, and both the Pullman and the Homestead strikes occurring, the film industry was very easily and slowly able to obtain a strong audience of lower and middle class viewers, which were both seeking simply an escape from the harsh daily realities, the violence, the depression, everything that was building up over the late 1890s that was definitely going to go into the 1900s, but they all seemingly wanted an escape from the one that they had to live in each day. Though, compared to other fields of entertainment, circuses, vaudeville acts, theater troupes, and magic shows, cinema definitely eventually was able to surpass all of these in the entertainment business successfully. Between the years of 1890 and 1900, many first films were created, although one of the most celebrated films was created by the Lumiere brothers, titled The Gardener and the Little Scamp, and was released in 1895. This film successfully gave an insight to the seeds of one of the main contributions in silent film, physical comedy. Compared to the Lumiere brothers, though, Edison, on the other hand, found himself lacking the outdoor freshness and freedom that the Lumiere brothers were able to portray in all of their films. This was mainly due to him being unable to understand and produce the beauty of the world at work, at play, and at rest, like the Lumiere brothers had successfully done and obtained an audience by doing. In 1895, though, Edison was able to release the first ever special effects film, The Execution of Mary, Queen of Scots, which was directed by Alfred Clark and was released in 1895. The film was only 15 seconds long, although it definitely captured many audiences' attention across the nation, not only because it was a special effects film, but also because it was the first film to consist of more than one shot. Both films and both creators, between the Lumiere brothers and Edison, had definitely already created a name for themselves, and though Edison struggled with portraying the emotional side of it, both of them had created such a strong foundation for film and for cinema that they are highly regarded as the best of the best to this day. Throughout the 1890s, many firsts came across in the film industry, and comparing then and now, we are able to see both a similarity in the determination of the multiple creators worldwide, but also a difference when comparing technology that has been adapted to and highly evolved over the years. I hope you enjoyed this talk about the birth of film between the years of 1890 and 1900, and I hope to get to talk to you about it again.